Thank you for joining me as we prepare for Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, with this soul accounting. I'm Joshua Lesser, the rabbi at Congregation Beit Chaverim in Atlanta, Georgia. As we move yet another week closer to Rosh Hashanah, I am mindful that our focus shifts as we do this soul accounting, and we begin to focus on love of community and the world around us. When I think about that, I was really moved last week by a picture that went viral. It was of an 11-year-old boy in Mexico who's seeing 11,000 protesters against LGBT rights. He went into the middle of the street and he stood with his arms out as if he could stem the tide of hatred. And this photographer caught this powerful statement. And at first he thought that the boy was fooling around, playing in the street. But when he asked him, why did he stand in front of those protesters, the little boy very powerfully and simply said, I have a gay uncle, and I've learned to hate hate. And so there is a way that he felt drawn at such an early age to use his presence and to use his voice to make a statement about bigotry in the world. When we begin to focus on love of community, I invite us, as you get your pen and some paper, your notebook, as we begin to reflect on how we stand up to the causes that are important to us, how we stand up for others. There's a teaching that I referenced before from Rabbi Hillel, except let's focus on the second line. The first line is, if I am not for myself, then who will be for me? But the second line says, if I am only for myself, then what am I? What am I? That what haunts me because it means that when we are only for ourselves, I believe Hillel is teaching us that we become less than human, not a who, but a what. And so that our responsibility is from a place of self-care, wanting care for others, and living, as we say here in the South, part of the beloved community, part of the community that really stands up, speaks out, and is an ally to others. So on your paper, I want you to think about a time or two in this past year where you powerfully stood up for others. What were the qualities that you called upon? Describe what happened that enabled you to speak up and stand up for another. And after you do that and think about the qualities, take a moment and think about a time or two when you didn't speak up. And think about what were the factors there. Was it because it was necessary you didn't speak up for your own self-care? Or did fear get in the way? Did how you appear to others influence the way you were able to use your voice effectively? And then begin to compare the lists and begin to commit to what kind of voice do you want to be in this coming year. The world needs your presence and your voice, and the better ally that you and I can be together, the better this world will be, and we'll be able to live up to this sense of love of self and love of community.